Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. Tell me, are you an introvert or an extrovert? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, welcome back. I was thinking a lot this week about introverts and extroverts. Now, when I was in my Psych 101 class in college, I had the coolest professor. He was so good at explaining things. He was animated, and when he would get up on stage or whatever to teach, he was really engaging, and he brought everything to life. And when we got to this section about introverts and extroverts, he revealed to us that he was an introvert. And everybody in my class disbelieved him. There was no way this guy, who was so cool, so good at talking, so good at teaching, explaining things, was an introvert. So this is how he explained it, and it really resonates with me. Introverted people lose their energy faster when they're in large groups of people or settings that are very social, things like that. Whereas an extrovert would get the energy from people, from going around and having those parties and being constantly like talking and connecting with people, and that really elevates their energy. So it's the cool thing that I thought was his distinction of not just, oh, introverts are quiet and extroverts are loud. Like, it's not really the best explanation of it. The real root of it is getting down to where do you get your energy. And so that was really cool for me because, first of all, it opened up a whole lot of opportunities for me as an introvert myself. I had always kind of felt this pressure that as an introvert, that maybe I'm somehow wrong or something because I can't talk to people as easily as maybe an extroverted person could be. And so that was really interesting for me to hear that from my professor, somebody that I looked up to, and I just really loved his teaching style, and to realize that he was an introvert himself, and it totally blew my mind. And so I realized that there's a lot of pressure out there in the world, whether it's like the business world or other things that are constantly telling people, you need to be better speakers, you need to be better at boasting and self-promotion and all of this stuff that's like loud and kind of obnoxious, to be honest. And I just wanted to take a second here and really celebrate the traits that an introvert brings to the table, that we don't always get that recognition. We don't always get the applause and the celebration of that in our culture, at least in America. And yeah, I think the biggest one that the introverts can really contribute to is the ability to listen to people. As an introvert, I've watched a lot of conversations, and it's amazing to me to think that there are so many conversations that people are having where everybody's trying to be heard, and there's so much going on, and they're all just kind of almost talking to themselves even though they're talking together. It's kind of like when you see groups of friends together and they're all texting each other. It doesn't really make any sense. It's that kind of a thing, but it's with speaking, with actual real face-to-face communication, and somehow there still isn't any communication happening. And so I have witnessed the coolest thing when you put in some introverts and some extroverts together, that helps change the atmosphere. You could have a conversation about two of the exact same things, but on one conversation is all one-sided. It's all about like what's everybody trying to say, and everybody's thinking about that just themselves. And then you have another conversation about the same thing, and people are starting to connect and build deep relationships because there's people that are willing to give and take, as far as saying or expressing what their opinions are, but having somebody there that is actually willing to hear you is insanely impactful. I think a lot of extroverts are probably feel a lot of void in their conversations. Maybe this is just a theory of mine, that maybe they talk so much and they're so loud because they're trying to be heard. They're trying to have that feeling that somebody gets them, and they don't get that when everybody else is trying to be as loud as they are. When you can pair up somebody who's willing to listen and somebody who needs to say something, it's just, there's nothing like it. And so I just really think that the introverts have incredible power to change people, to connect with people. And no, it doesn't look the same as networking and doing all this stuff that's like loud and talking to people and expressing everything that you're thinking. No, it's not that. It's about this idea of giving and taking, hearing and actually hearing. Not just like hearing here, but listening, like understanding people. That is a power of the introvert that I think is getting lost in the noise of everybody trying to become a better extrovert. So don't get me wrong here, I definitely think that we need both introverts and extroverts. I don't believe that one is better than the other. I think they both have things to offer, and we need both of them together to get anywhere, really. And I just wanted to take a second, though, to kind of help promote the introverts in our lives, whether that's you or your friends, just because a lot of times, introversion is going to kind of be downplayed because the louder and more exuberant people are extroverts, and so they're going to constantly be kind of celebrating their own talents and stuff. And so the introverted side of people kind of takes a back seat and gets, doesn't get as much glory. So that's my only intention here, is to really celebrate the gifts and the traits that introverted people bring to the table. Okay, so it's challenge time. Now, if you are introverted, your challenge for this video is to celebrate the talents and the gifts that you have that come naturally to you as an introverted person. It's amazing, and so don't get discouraged when there's a lot of talk about how maybe you're hearing things like you need to be louder or you need to speak up more or whatever. Don't get discouraged when you hear stuff like that, because you are amazing and we need you, and we need everything that you bring to the table. If you are an extrovert, your challenge for this video is to find a way to celebrate the amazing impact that the introverts in your life have made on you. You can express that to them, or do it however you want. But take a moment to at least acknowledge their power and find ways to maybe even mimic and develop some of the traits of listening and of connection, and being comfortable with silence. You can learn all of this from your introverted friends. And so that's your challenge for this week, is for the introverts to actually be celebrated and for the extroverts to try and develop some introverted traits. So we're gonna flip things around a little bit here. So go out there and make an impact in whatever way that you can. You're not defined by just your personality. You're not defined by the external influences that pressure you to do things or to not do things. You always have choices. So let's make the choice to come together, to connect, and to celebrate each other's strengths. So thanks so much for watching, and I will see you on the next video.